Hey guys, and welcome back to the Talking Football podcast. My name is Jacob Cullip, and long time no see. It's been over a year since the last time I spoke to you guys, and that was obviously during lockdown when football was shut down and nothing actually happened. So it's been a long time since I've spoken to you guys on audio format, and it's also going to be uploaded to YouTube now, so I'll try and get the Talking Football podcast out more now, and hopefully, it was going to be, I hope you guys enjoy it. You never know, some of you might have missed us, you never know. But so in today's audio/video, I'm going to be talking about all the transfers and stuff that's happened since the last time we spoke to you. So getting to that first. So the last time since we spoke to you, obviously the season restarted, which was the 2019-20 season that ended with Liverpool winning the league. Ooh, fantastic for them. And then we also did the Premier League predictions video last year. If you guys haven't seen that Premier League predictions video, make sure to check out my channel, Jake Cullip, on YouTube, which you might be watching, or if you're listening on audio, check out the Jake Cullip YouTube channel if you haven't already, to see some football videos and other content ideas. But I digress. So we did a Premier League predictions, which me and Mars, from the Talking Football podcast, did a video on. And we predicted Liverpool to win the league in that as well. Hey presto, they didn't. Fantastic. But Man City did win the league, so obviously it wasn't fantastic in the end for me. But I did finish second, but we didn't win the Europa League. So since the last time I spoke to you guys, it's been a bit mixed for a Man United fan, for myself. But let's get into that actually. So let's go over last season. Remember guys to subscribe to the Jake Cullip YouTube channel. As I've said, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more football content. Also check out the Talking Football podcast as well. Make sure to follow us on your podcast provider. And you could enjoy it. So I'm just going to load up the table from last year and go through the predictions from last year, which were absolutely terrible. So it ended up being Man City, Manchester United, Liverpool and Chelsea finishing in the top four. So got the top four predictions right, I suppose. But in 18th, it was Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield United all went down. Sheffield United, second season syndrome, didn't do well for them. But we did predict Fulham and West Brom to go down. So I guess two predictions right being there. But that's last season and all that out of the way. We're going to get into this season's transfers and latest news so far. So we literally just confirmed a few minutes ago in this real time. I don't know when this video is going to be uploaded or audio, so you never know. But Ben White has completed his 50 million transfer move to Arsenal from Brighton and Hove Albion after one season at the Seagulls. 50 million. I suppose it comes back to the English tax again, doesn't it? Ben White moving from Brighton to Arsenal. Well, you can't complain about that, moving from Brighton to Arsenal. But it's after one season. He was worth 25 million last year, which Brighton did reject from Leeds United. A 25 million transfer fee was reported from Sky last year. But to be worth double that now and move. Well, you can't complain about, as I said, you can't complain about the move. Voice crack there. But you can't complain about the move going from Brighton to Arsenal. I don't think anyone is debating that. I think it's the transfer fee, as I'm going to talk about Manchester United later. The transfer fee confirmed the other day for Rafael Varane transferring from Real Madrid to Manchester United. When what you see, what Man United are paying now is just absolutely mad compared to what Varane has won to Ben White. I know Ben White's just starting in his career. You hope he has a better career, and for England's sake as well, which he was in the squad for Euro 2020. So it's good that he got into the squad, but obviously wasn't utilised by Gareth Southgate with all the centre-back options England currently have. But I'll say it's a good move for Ben White's career, but after one, as I said, with one season with Brighton, he's already worth £50 million. It's just absolutely ludicrous, the transfer fees these days. But I'd say from Arsenal, that is a good signing. Just looking at the others they've made, obviously Dani Ceballos has left to go back to Real Madrid, and then there's talk of him leaving as well. Matt Ryan left and went back to Brighton, and then he's just moved to Real Sociedad. David Luiz's contract expired, he's no longer there as well. Matteo Guendouzi has moved as well. William Saliba on another loan. It seems Mikel Arteta doesn't really trust him, but we also saw the video of that. I'm not going to get into that. But Arsenal, I'd say a good signing for Ben White. I'm not debating he's a bad player. He is a good player, but I could say something about that. I was going to say something controversial, but I think it's mostly, even like Brighton fans, I think Lewis Dunk is just a better centre back. He is the best Brighton centre back if you actually watch Brighton. But I think he is his second best centre back after Lewis Dunk. So it's not like he's third or fourth behind Webster and Dan Burn, which Dan Burn plays on as fullback, which is absolutely mental, the tallest fullback in the league. But he's not a bad signing, as I've said, but he's a fantastic signing for Arsenal. They definitely needed centre back. Gabriel had an alright season last year. Obviously Arsenal did finish 8th, and I predicted them to get 5th. Absolutely madness. But obviously they have no European football this year, so Ben White doesn't have to start obviously he doesn't have the pressure of European football. There you go, that's what I was trying to say. He doesn't have the pressure of European football because they're not in the Europa League or not in the Champions League this year, and not in the new UEFA Conference League, which Spurs are in. I don't think Spurs fans are liking that they're in the Europa Conference League, if that's what it's called. But yeah, so he doesn't have to adapt quickly to European football, and I think Arsenal might do well this season with the lack of European football on their side. So a good signing to watch out for. What other signings has there been? Let's have a quick look. There was also reported from Fabrizio Romano the other day that Jules Koundé is looking likely to move to Chelsea in a 25 million to 30 million euro move, and possibly Kurt Zouma moving the other way. I think, obviously, I'm a Man United fan. Going to admit that if you haven't listened to the show. I think if we didn't get Varane, I think Koundé would have been a good signing as well. So Chelsea fans, what do you think of that? If Jules Koundé moves to your club, I think that's a good signing for Chelsea, because after Rudiger, if Christensen get injured as well, obviously you've got Thiago Silva, but he's not getting any younger. Obviously Chelsea are the European champions as well, so it's good to strengthen, and obviously they're looking to push City this year for the league title, which is what they want to do. So that'll be a fantastic squad depth, especially squad depth is massive in football these days. You've seen that with Liverpool last year. After they lost Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez, they had to go and sign other centre-backs, which was Kabak, and then obviously they utilised Reece Williams and Nat Phillips last year. Nat Phillips, absolutely mental. Speak to Miles about Nat Phillips. He absolutely loves him. He's like a bus, isn't he? Just goes straight through. There's also talk about Nat Phillips actually moving to Brighton, but I can't confirm that. I don't actually know the source to that. So I'll try and look for that. But yes, there is talks of Nat Phillips moving to Brighton as well. That'll be a good signing for Brighton. But yeah, I think, so Chelsea, that'll be a good signing for them. Obviously, going on to Liverpool, they brought in Konate from RB Leipzig, which is a good signing. But there's also, I saw from, I think it's the Anfield Watch on Twitter, that they need to sell to buy first, which is what Liverpool usually do. We've seen that utilising the Coutinho money a few years ago to buy Van Dijk, Alisson and Fabinho and Naby Keita, and they might need to do that again. But there's talk of Xherdan Shaqiri as well, but who knows about Liverpool. Let's talk about, some people think Liverpool could win the title this year. I think there's a realistic chance if Van Dijk and Gomez don't get injured again. But as I said, it's about the squad depth for Liverpool, because once you remove, especially with Henderson was a huge loss last year as well. Obviously Fabinho and Henderson had to go back into centre-backs because of the loss of Joe Gomez, Joel Matip and Virgil van Dijk last year. But yeah, so I think Liverpool could do well this season, but injuries need to be luck on their side, like there was in the past 2 years when they finished second and obviously won the title 2 years back. So luck needs to be on their side again for injuries, not like last year, or they will struggle to get top 4 again, in my opinion. Going into another top 6 side, Manchester City, it's reported that they're in currently talks with Jack Grealish to move from Aston Villa to Manchester City. Not sure of the fee, but again, Fabrizio Romano reporting this and other English outlets yesterday that the deal is progressing and talks are currently going on between the two clubs, and I think this will be a fantastic signing for Manchester City, more squad depth to their already brilliant bench and start 11. So they're looking to retain the title this year, and obviously go one step further in winning the Champions League after they got to the final last year against Chelsea, obviously losing out to Chelsea, who are the European champions this year. But that'll be a fantastic signing. There was also questions if Harry Kane will sign. I think, in my opinion, I don't think Harry Kane's going to sign if Manchester City sign Jack Grealish this season. I think Kane will have one more season. Obviously, he's being priced out of a move by Daniel Levy because that's what Daniel Levy does. But yeah, so I think Harry Kane has been priced out of a move, and I don't think he'll be moving to Manchester City this year. And I think it's going to be next season if Manchester City are going to sign him, or other big clubs like Man United. We might need a striker next year after Edinson Cavani leaves and Paul Pogba's off the wages, but I think Pogba will leave on a fee unless something happens in January. But yeah, so I think Harry Kane will stay, and Jack Grealish will be a fantastic signing for them. Obviously, Gareth Southgate doesn't rate Jack Grealish that much. You never know. It could be the Southgate thing, wasn't it? He never started Sancho, and then when the week Sancho was here we go to Man United, he started him in the Ukraine game. So it could be something like that in the future. Gareth Southgate could play Jack Grealish in the future, and if he doesn't, I think we'll all be a bit baffled again. Obviously, as an England fan, excuse me for that, that was a bit rude. But obviously, as an England fan, to see Jack Grealish get this move, it's good as well. It's good for his career. Obviously, Aston Villa fans will be not concerned. Well, they've signed Emi Buendia, which is a good signing. You know, with these past few signings, they're going to recoup the Grealish money and use that into other signings. There was talk of them signing Emil Smith-Rowe, but he signed a new contract at Arsenal and has the famous number 10 shirt. But I think Aston Villa, obviously they're going to sell their captain. They're going to be, and the fans are going to be upset. But you sign Emi Buendia, and I think you'll get a few more signings if Jack Grealish signs for Manchester City and the transfer fee is reported what it is going to be. It might be near £100 million. So you're going to lose Jack Grealish, but you're also going to use that money elsewhere as well. So I think that might be a good deal. Going on to my club, Manchester United. Obviously, we signed Jadon Sancho. As I said earlier, that is a fantastic deal. Tom Heaton also has come back to United after a long time, after a free transfer, after his contract expired from Aston Villa. Sergio Romero has also left as well, which is a bit upsetting. But as I said the other day, confirmed, Rafael Varane is signing from Real Madrid after he only has 1 year left on his contract, and he's signing for 34 million currently at the moment. I think it's going to rise to about 50 million, so it will eventually be the same as Ben White, I think. But to get the same money on Ben White and Rafael Varane is absolutely mad these days, especially what Varane has won. He's won a World Cup, 3 La Ligas and 4 Champions Leagues, which is just absolutely mental. So that's a fantastic signing for United, and obviously we're going to do the Premier League predictions later down the line, but I still don't think we're going to win the league. I still don't think we are, even with these 2 signings. I think there's still a gaping hole in this team, which needs to be the midfield, because Fred and McTominay, as you saw last year, were practically playing just a back 6, especially in the big games as well, which we actually didn't do well in. We only beat City, I think. We only beat City and Tottenham in that time last year. We won 2-0 at the Etihad and won 3-1 at White Hart Lane. But yeah, we only win 2 games out of the top 6 games last year. It's not great, especially if you're going to win a title. And so if you saw Arsenal last year, they didn't do well at all, and we beat us at Old Trafford and we drew 0-0 at the Emirates. See, even with Arsenal in a crisis, we still can't beat them, which is just it's Man United to a T, isn't it? But with this signing, I think we'll stabilise in the top 4. But if we're pushing and have ambitions to win the title, we definitely need to sign a central defensive midfielder. And yeah, I think do that, and we'll do a title push this year. Oh, that sounds a bit so overconfident, but I have faith in this board. Definitely not. But they have proved us wrong in the past 2 signings. But yeah, they're probably only doing this since after Old Trafford got what happened with the Liverpool game last year, got charged into. So they might be trying to win us fans back with these new kits and signings. But yeah, if we have any ambitions to win the title, we need to sign a central defensive midfielder. if we have any ambitions to win a title. It could be Declan Rice, it could be Ndidi, but those transfers will obviously be expensive. There's talk of Camavinga as well. Obviously, there's going to be pressure on him. He's only 18 years old, so it'll be Calvin Phillips. I don't think we're going to snatch Calvin Phillips from Leeds, but I wouldn't mind Calvin Phillips after his performances with Declan Rice as a 2DM partnership at the Euros, which wouldn't be that bad. Well, I mean, we'd play 2 DMs now, but I'm not sure if we're going to play 2 DMs going further into this upcoming season. I hope not, but I hope we sign a CDM, and then yeah, you never know, we could push for a title. You know, we haven't even won it for 8, coming up to 9 years now, which is just absolutely mental. But yeah, who else so Tottenham, going into Tottenham, obviously they got a new manager in Nuno Espirito Santo after he left Wolves last year. He did a fantastic job there. What will happen at Spurs, who knows? Obviously, I said there's talks about Harry Kane moving, but in my personal opinion, I don't think Harry Kane is going to move this year. I don't think he is going to move. I think he's going to do one more year at Spurs. Obviously, Heung-min Son signing a new contract. Dele Alli's playing more in pre-season, and he's playing well in pre-season. But obviously, it's pre-season. Even Andreas Pereira scored a worldie the other day, and he's doing well. So pre-season Pirlo, everyone likes to call him. But obviously, Danny Rose has left on a free transfer to Watford, newly promoted Watford. So Watford, Brentford, and Norwich are back in the Premier League. A Pookie party could be arising for Norwich again. That was obviously the biggest meme of the season before with Pookie. Or Eric Lamela has swapped for Brian Gill coming in from Sevilla. Eric Lamela finally leaving. And also the post the other day, all the signings after Gareth Bale, well, obviously recuperating the Gareth Bale money from 2013. Every single player has left then, which is just absolutely mad. Obviously they had signings like Eriksen and Lamela. Obviously Eriksen was probably the best out of that deal, and yeah, so who knows about that. Then Tottenham, are people going to sleep on Tottenham? Well, you never know about Tottenham, but I don't think they're going to get, well, predictions, early prediction, I don't think they will get top 4, but Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, I think their partnership last year was fantastic under Jose Mourinho before he got sacked, and they were top of the league at one stage last year. But I think Heung-min Son and Harry Kane will have another fantastic season this year, but I don't think they will get top 4. So yeah, so we've done Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, counting on the fingers if you're not watching on video, Arsenal, City. Yeah, I think I've gone over everyone, and I've said Watford, Brentford and Norwich are back in the Premier League. Is there any other signings? Alphonso Areola is at West Ham United on loan. Obviously, he was on loan at... I don't remember. Where is he? He was on loan at Fulham last year. He was fantastic at Fulham last year. His standout performance was the win at Anfield for Fulham last year. West Ham, that's a good signing. Will he dislodge Fabianski for number 1? We're yet to see that, but I think that's also a good signing for them. Felipe Anderson has finally left the club on an undisclosed fee back to Lazio from where they bought him from, funny enough. But West Ham, they had a fantastic season, West Ham last season, going on to them. Fantastic season under David Moyes, who looks back to his best. Obviously, Mikel Antonio, Thomas Tuchel, what a fantastic signing he has been. Obviously permanently signing from his loan spell from the season before. Absolutely fantastic. Declan Rice had a fantastic season linked with Chelsea and Manchester United. I think that'd be a fantastic signing if Manchester United sign him. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Last year, Jarrod Bowen, it says Mikel Antonio, Fabianski, Obona, fantastic players. Obviously they just missed out on the Champions League last year, having Europa League football. I think they will struggle this season with Europa League football due to their lack of squad depth. But you never know, West Ham could do well this season, and David Moyes looks back to his best, as I've said, and looks like the manager we knew from Everton, and that's fantastic for him. Obviously I wish him well after his failure at Manchester United, but I do wish him well after that. So who else are the news? Wolverhampton Wanderers obviously have a new manager as well. As I said, Nuno has left for Tottenham Hotspur, and it's good to see Raul Jimenez back after the horrible injury he sustained at Arsenal last year. It's good to see him back, and yeah, we're yet to see what Wolves could they be back to their best from when they finished 7th 2 years in a row? Obviously, you have a new manager. I can't remember his name on the top of my head, but will they be back to their best, or what we've seen from the 2 years previous to to last season? I'm not sure. I don't think they'll finish 7th like they have before, but I think they'll have another good season, and I think they will stay up. Leicester City, obviously I say Leicester's new kit. I have to go over the new kits with Miles if I get Miles back on the show. But the new kits, especially, I've seen a lot of people dissing on Leicester's new kit. I really like it. I think it's just the sponsor really that's kind of ruining it. But Leicester, just missing out on Champions League again, finishing 5th for the 2nd season in a row, and missing out on Champions League on the last day for the 2nd season in a row. Obviously, Wes Morgan has now retired. He's left the club. What an absolute legend he's been for that club. Obviously, lifting the FA Cup last year for Leicester City and the Champions League. Not Champions League. Oh my God, that's ambitious. Premier League. There you go. I always mix up with something. But obviously, they've signed Patson Decker from RB Salzburg for 23 million, a striker. Willie Cumming and dislodged Kelechi Iheanacho, who had a fantastic end to the season last year. Jamie Vardy didn't have a great end to the season. He had a fantastic start to the season, scoring a hat-trick at Manchester City in a 5-2 win, which is mad considering Manchester City won the league that season, last season, still conceding 5 goals to Leicester. That was obviously before the fantastic signing of Ruben Diaz last year, who changed that City backline. Didn't have a great Euros though, Ruben Diaz, so you never know what could happen this season with Ruben Diaz, but I still think City will win the league. But as I've said, will Leicester have another great season like the past 2 seasons? Obviously they got Europa League football again like last year, which they didn't actually take seriously that much, getting knocked out last year quite early I think it was. But I think Leicester will have another good season, but I don't think they will get Champions League. Last year Brendan Rodgers has obviously done a wonderful job there at the club, and I hope he does well in that as well. Who else have I missed on? As I've said about Liverpool as well, obviously Jorginho Wijnaldum has left to go to Paris Saint-Germain, which is a good signing. Obviously he came out the other day and said he didn't really feel love from the social media Liverpool fans, which is a bit tad controversial, because I think every time I saw, Gini Wijnaldum was absolutely loved. So I hope he does well, Gini Wijnaldum. But yeah, it was a bit weird for him to come out and say that. That was reported from the Liverpool Echo last week. Yes, I have to get Miles' opinion on that, but Gini Wijnaldum, hope he does well, but it does seem a bit tad confusing that he did come out and say that after great years under his service for Liverpool. But that is the end of the news for this episode of the Talking Football podcast. If you like this video, make sure to smack the like button. Make sure to smack the like button, subscribe to the Jake Cullip YouTube channel, and if you're listening to this on Spotify or your podcast provider, make sure to follow the Talking Football podcast, and we will be back for another episode, and watch out for the Premier League predictions video / podcast. And remember guys, you need to be yourself, you can't be else. I've been Jake Cullip and the Talking Football podcast, and yeah guys, peace.